A student at the University of the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, studying a Bachelor of Criminology and Justice, has reportedly lost marks for not including an Aboriginal land acknowledgement. The Courier Mail reported, student enraged after marks slashed over acknowledgement of country. Apparently, the student is just 2 weeks away from graduating, so she's certainly not inexperienced. Yet, she has still had marks deducted, even though the assignment criteria sheet did not require an acknowledgement of country. The course in question is titled Diversity, Crime and Justice. Personally, it feels as though diversity has just been tacked on to the name. Couldn't it have just been called Crime and Justice? Yet it seems that diversity is now expected to be included in everything. The Courier Mail cited the assessment feedback, which read, "An acknowledgement of country would have been appropriate given your chosen topic." The student, who reportedly aspires to become a police officer, checked with the lecturer and confirmed that marks had indeed been deducted. She said, "I was quite annoyed. I go off the criteria sheet and whatever is on there I address. The fact that it wasn't on a criteria sheet and I still got marked down for it, that's pretty annoying. I'm paying $60,000 for this degree. It's really not fair." She also claimed that other courses in the degree had similar problems, saying, "The social work classes and all the working with Indigenous cultural people, those classes are very judgmental and they are very opinionated. I think you can be respectful while still having your own opinions." She's clearly very intelligent, perhaps even more so than her lecturers. To be fair to the university, a spokeswoman did say, "In one of the criminology courses on diversity and criminal justice, students can choose to do a First Nations topic for one of their tasks, and while they are encouraged to do an acknowledgement of country if they elect to do this topic, there are no marks allocated for this." This is the Vice-Chancellor and President of UniSC, Professor Helen Bartlett, who, perhaps surprisingly, became the university's first female Vice-Chancellor in 2020. Don't worry, she's reportedly very fair. For instance, in February 2025, University of the Sunshine Coast bans men from applying for $180,000 role in bid to promote equal opportunity. Here's the actual ad that's still on Google. Associate Professor, Mechanical Engineering, Women Only. See, that's how you address gender discrimination, by discriminating against men. According to the university's key statistics page, nearly 70% of students are female, and the majority of staff are also female. It seems Professor Bartlett has demonstrated a straightforward approach to addressing gender discrimination. Just don't hire men. But I've completely gone off topic, as I often do. Now, where were we? Yes, Indigenous activism at universities. The University of Queensland recently made headlines with the Australian reporting, "I'll remember, law lecturer warned students over Indigenous history walkout." Last year, senior law lecturer Dr. Danny Linder criticised first-year law students for walking out of a lecture on Indigenous Australian legal history. She cautioned that their actions could impact their future prospects, stating, "Watch what you say and what you do if you want to do well in your law degree, because being politically active in a way that's protesting against my inclusion of Indigenous perspectives and up and leaving, that is really inappropriate, and I won't be tolerating it. I remember the faces that got up and walked out. I can tell you now, if you want to get involved in any work while you're doing your law degree, you're not going to get hired, and you're not going to last if this is the type of behaviour that you're engaging with." There's been barristers that have become aware of this week that frequently try to engage UQ law students who are like, "We're sick of it. We want students to be likeable." Surprisingly, Dr. Linda's University of Queensland profile appears to have been deleted or hidden, perhaps due to excessive backlash. Additionally, her UQ Law School profile now requires a login to access. Who would have thought that berating students might lead to consequences? Just for your interest, this is the Vice-Chancellor and President of UQ, Professor Deborah Terry, who, according to their website, perhaps surprisingly, became the university's first female Vice-Chancellor in 2020. Of course, UQ celebrates your pronouns like, "Hi, my name is Fen. My pronouns are they, them." They also provide all-gender toilets and proudly highlight their employment of Aboriginal people. This is achieved by excluding all other candidates, as demonstrated in a senior research technician job listing that states, "Applications open to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people only. LGBT Aboriginal people are strongly encouraged to apply." It's unclear what one's sexuality or ethnicity has to do with being a research technician, but there you have it. Similar to the University of the Sunshine Coast, the Vice-Chancellor appears to have addressed discrimination by employing discriminatory practices. As the Australian recently pointed out, indigenising curriculum is all about politics, not the law. So true. It seems our universities are becoming increasingly dominated by activists intent on pushing forward their ill-conceived agendas.